Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new season of the Purposeful Life Show with your host, Adrian Starks. I'm excited to share some new updates of the show with you, starting with a new look, sound, and energy, as well as a variety of guests coming aboard with intriguing topics of conversation. I hope you enjoy the new level of energy that will be brought to the show. Thank you for all of your support since the very beginning in 2019. Wow, it's been 3 years already? Because of you, the Purposeful Life Show is now in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, and we aim to get it into the top 1%. Continue listening to the show and share it with others. You can also now listen to the show on my Facebook page at Adrian Starks, where you can comment in real time and communicate with me about your aha moments. Thank you again for all of your support, and let's make this one hell of a year and be purposeful about doing that. Wishing you all much love and success. Hi, my name is Adrian Starks, and welcome to the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up Podcast. This podcast is for the courageous creators wanting to create a life of meaning, adventure, and fulfillment, all while helping to make the world a better place. I'm happy you're here, and if you're new to our show, make sure to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. Also, connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Champion Up. It is always that one idea that could be your breakthrough. It's time to step into your courage and believe the champion in you. Welcome, everyone. Today, my name is Adrian Starks, and welcome to the Champion Up Podcast. I am the host, and I'm so happy to have you here on this Courageous Creator Day. We do have a very special episode, but before we do that, I want to remind you to make sure to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe to our show, and to go and download that Champion Up app for some amazing, powerful content. Today's topic is about seeing your uniqueness, and I love this tagline by a wonderful person named Loree Cowling that's going to be on our show and give us some tips about how to be that kind of person, understanding yourself, showing up more out here in the environment, and what you can do to really see that uniqueness in other people. So we do have Loree on, and Loree, can you say hello?
Yeah, for sure. Hi, and I'm so grateful to be joining you and your audience today.
Well, we're grateful to have you here, and we're so happy to be able to learn some great things from you because you know all about seeing your uniqueness. And so a little bit about Loree here. Loree Cowling is a dedicated, loving mom to a beautiful daughter who has chosen to shine her light as a divine soul with Down syndrome. Their experiences together inspire Loree to support people to participate in impactful conversations that transform how people celebrate themselves and others. She is an international best-selling author, speaker, and advocate for inclusion as a natural conversation in all environments. Loree facilitates inspired, engaged connections within core relationships at home, in schools, at the workplace, and our broader communities. And this is why I consider Loree a courageous creator who has decided on bringing purpose to her life. Welcome to the show today, Loree.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be in this conversation with you.
I'm excited to be in this conversation as well. And for all of you who do not know Loree, she is a great conversationalist. We always talk about certain things, and I learned so much from her. So I just knew that Loree had to come on this show because we need to learn how to see that part of ourselves that we're not seeing. Let's be honest, we live in a society where we're being taught to be like other people, or we're being told that we can't be ourselves. We can't be different. We can't stand out. We can't, as we say, ruffle any feathers or start any waves. Because if we do that, we may not be likable, may not be lovable, may not be acceptable. And that's so not the truth. The truth is that when we see that part of ourselves, seeing your uniqueness, then that allows us to be more lovable, more acceptable. Because people can see us, not see what we're trying to, convince them of, but they see through us. And that's what I love about Loree. She sees you. As she always says, I see you. And it's so important for someone to say that. Have you ever had anyone tell you, I see you? Or have you ever told anyone, I see you? And you may be saying, well, Adrian, that has nothing to do with me. Yes, it does. Because if you don't see yourself, you won't see other people, and you will not be able to do what you really love to do and create value out here in the world through your business, through your personal relationships, whatever it may be for you. So, Loree, I would like to know, a little bit more about you for our audience. So can you share a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely. And first, I just want to say how beautiful it is to hear you talk about seeing you. And the energy from which you said that was so heart based. And it feels so good to be able to hear that from another soul. And I just want to thank you for, sharing that with your audience and with myself today.
You're
And
welcome. You're welcome.
that is the foundation of what I do, is to create the awareness and the space for other people and myself to learn how to celebrate every single part of who they are. Not just the parts that fall into the hierarchy of what society says is valuable, but to
Mm-hmm.
truly understand that who we are as divine beings and just ourselves is perfect exactly as we are in every moment that we show up. And I really support people to find that awareness for themselves and then allow that to model out into their families and their communities and their businesses.
So beautiful. So you allow them to find that awareness for themselves so they can model that out to their families and communities and businesses. So that is why it's so important what Loree does to help you see that awareness of you, because we are all at times living through a veil, and that has to come off for us to really give ourselves, authentically and honestly to our environments and our communities. Loree, for anyone looking to expand themselves or show up more out here in the world, to be more honest and open, or to even create a business by doing what they love, what is the biggest step that you think they need to take first?
I I really think that one of the first steps that any of us take is in finding within ourselves this desire to celebrate who we are and to spend a little time creating the community around you, the people around you that are fired up and excited for you to know who you are and what you're bringing to the world. It's like laying this foundation for yourself that as you proceed to share your business or your dream or your message or your global impact,
Mm-hmm.
that you have to have that foundation of celebration. And
I
it's
love that.
one of the things we all forget to add into our business plans or our goal planning or any of those things.
I like that you said that. You said the foundation of, what was that again? The foundation of
Uh,
impact, right?
yeah, right. The foundation of the impact that we're creating for ourselves and for our families and for the
Yes.
world starts with celebrating. It starts in
Celebrating.
joy. Yeah, it starts in joy. We all create these ideas for our businesses or our dreams first in a place of joy. And then we often forget that that needs to remain as part of what we do.
Ooh, I love that. It should remain as part of what we do. I'm taking notes, by the way. I got to do this. So, when we're building businesses, most people, even myself at some point, when we're getting really productive and we're excited, we think that the happiness comes after we've succeeded, right? We hold everything off. So what you're saying is that no, it starts now. We need to have fun now and have happiness now, because that can improve our businesses and relationships.
Absolutely. One of the
Wow.
keys that I use in my own personal life and that I show other people how to do is building evidence.
Building
And
evidence.
I now have the conscious state where even in this communication, I'm building evidence of the joy of what I do. And I'm building the evidence that other people are receiving me and that I'm receiving other people, because that's my core thing that I desire to experience. So we need to learn how to build the evidence right now, today, in what we're doing, that we're succeeding and we're doing amazing. And we're doing amazing today, no matter what today looks like.
Love that. So we're doing amazing today, no matter what today looks like. And so not to live too much in the future, which people do. And this causes anxiety, right? They're thinking too much down the road as opposed to just being in the moment now. That's part of seeing our uniqueness, right?
For sure. And what happens when we hold off the celebration and we hold off seeing who we are until we've accomplished the things that we have decided are important outcomes in our life, whether it's in your personal life or your business life or your community. What happens when we hold off doing that is we actually start to close down and we start to shrink and we start to get smaller and we start to have doubt and uncertainty because we're never reaching where we're going.
Right.
If you're building that evidence and you're celebrating and you're seeing yourself every day, then actually your outcomes grow and the impact that you believe you can make actually gets bigger because you're already making impact.
So seeing yourself every day, and most don't do that. They just get up in the morning and, throw their clothes on, go through their morning routine, and they don't even stop to look at themselves in the mirror. I mean, and they just take off, right? Go to work and have their day. So what step could they take, like, to see themselves? Would that be like looking in the mirror or just taking a deep breath, or what would that look like?
Absolutely. The very first place we start seeing ourselves is in the mirror.
Okay.
And one of the tools, like one of the gifts that I always say to people is before you go to sleep tonight, just tonight, write down on a piece of paper something about yourself that you've always wanted to celebrate, but you've never been allowed. You might be really great at, my mom, she reads like 5 novels at a time. She was always told that reading is great, but that she shouldn't let it take over her life.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we started having this conversation, she wrote down, I celebrate that I can be involved in so many stories at one time. So I encourage everybody to, before you go to bed, on a piece of paper, write down something you want to celebrate about yourself. And when you wake up, hold that between your hands and love up that idea of you being perfect exactly as you are.
Okay.
And then what will happen is throughout the day, you'll notice those places and you'll start to celebrate that part of yourself.
I love that. Celebrate that part of yourself. So the night before, you write down something you want to celebrate. And then you wake up the next day and you think about that. And okay. That is important for me to know and for everyone else to know, because it is so misunderstood about the value of self, because many people will think, well, if I think about myself, is that being selfish? Or I got to think about other people first. They come first, I come second. That's kind of how we've been conditioned to think. And I find this is part of the problem with people when they're wondering why they feel hollow inside, why they feel like there's no one giving them what they want. Whereas reality is they should be doing that themselves by celebrating themselves. And I just love the fact that you said that. What inspired you to do this kind of work?
I am beyond grateful and inspired every day by my daughter. So Sydney was born 21 years ago with Down syndrome. Mm-hmm. And she every day shows up in this place of pure joy. And she has shown me that it's okay to be who you are exactly as you are. Mm-hmm. One of the things she's amazing at is she can be really mad at me and still love me. And she doesn't need to define, her choice of, I dislike you in this moment as being, you're not a good person. Mm-hmm. So she kind of inspired me to go out and see other people exactly as they are. And when you do that, it creates this ripple. And when you stand in this place of loving yourself, it allows other people to love themselves. And it's just really that she's shown me how to do. And, she is impacting the world by telling people exactly as you are is beautiful.
Exactly as you are is beautiful. And that is so necessary, especially in the younger generation today, that finds themselves comparing so much for attention, for validation. So you have designed this amazing business SEE Uniqueness, which I love it, by the way. I love the name of it.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic name. And how do you spell that? Because you spell it in a very unique way.
I do. So C is SEE and uniqueness. And we always capitalize C and U. And the reason why is because I see you.
I see you. Huh.
And even when you read that, you feel like somebody sees me. And you know, I teach this with our supporters, and we have youth ambassadors that help us. And anybody that's working with me, I teach them that for 10 seconds, when you meet somebody, to just take a breath and think, I wish to see you.
I wish to see you.
And when you do that and you see somebody, they feel it. And it then allows them to receive you different and you receive them different, instead of that defensive place of, you know, saying, how are you today? Or what are you doing today? You know, that always puts people in a place of having to defend who they are.
Right. That is such an amazing point. So when we ask how, that puts them into a defensive one versus when we say, I see you. Or, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's something we can change. We can change how we approach. So okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. That sounds, see, this is why I just love having people such as yourself on this show, because it is all about how we're impacting the world in a very powerful way. So how can our audience here today get in touch with you and to learn more about this powerful, magnificent movement and company you have going on with SEE Uniqueness?
So right now, the two ways that we're really wanting people to start accessing it is, the first one is our YouTube channel, which is SEE Uniqueness. And we launched a movement last year, which I'm calling Sydney's Million. That's my daughter's name. And we are inviting 1 million people to celebrate and share their uniqueness. So we have a video on the YouTube page, and if, you know, people can go and check that out and share it and like it and, you know, be a part of our 1 million, that would be amazing. And the other way is we have a Facebook group right now called SEE Uniqueness. And this is where we're, you know, sharing some of our content and some of the ways that you can impact your life and other people's lives. And as well, we are about to launch our SEE Uniqueness
app. An app? You guys have an app coming out?
We sure do.
Okay, so, and this app, is it for free download?
It is a free download, and it's going to be filled with content, and we're going to have places where you can see some of the uniquenesses other people are sharing, and there's going to be a page of learning how to celebrate you.
I love it. I'm going to get that app because I need to start learning how to see my uniqueness more. Even me. Yes, me, Adrian. I have to start learning to look at me more. And this is absolutely wonderful, Loree. And that's why you are a courageous creator on the Purposeful Life show. There is one question I want to ask you before we end today, and it's a courageous creator question.
Sure, I'm excited to hear it.
What does the world need more of?
I really, in all of my heart, believe that the world is in this position right now to choose an awareness of love over an awareness of fear. And what we need to do that is to see ourselves with this sense of knowing that you are a beautiful, divine, magnificent being already. And then to choose with curiosity and excitement to start to see the people around you with the same sort of belief. To look at difference as a powerful way to be curious and know other people, instead of a way to create wrongness and fear.
Beautifully said. Very powerful. And that's why I asked you that question, which is a courageous creator question. And I want to thank you so much, Loree, for being on our show today, because this is absolutely wonderful for us to learn how to see our uniqueness. And everyone that is listening, make sure you go to the YouTube page of SEE Uniqueness, subscribe, like the page, share it as much as you can possibly. Spread the word. Go to the Facebook page, SEE Uniqueness. Like, subscribe, share as much as possible. And be on the lookout for this powerful SEE Uniqueness app, because I'm going to get it. And if I'm going to get it, you better get it, because it is the thing to get to see that part of yourself. And Loree, is there anything you want to say to our audience today before we're done with our show? Any just one word of advice for them?
Yeah, for sure. Something that I really know and have noticed is that oftentimes we want the transformation of our mindset and our outward experience to happen instantaneously. And, we believe that we can create it through sheer willpower and force. But transformation is a beautiful unfolding that happens over time. And to really allow your willpower to be more about the power to feel the strength and vulnerability. To stand as you transform. And, just to be kind and gentle with yourself.
Being kind and gentle with yourself. All right. That is the topic for this week for everyone. Lesson: to be kind and gentle with yourself. Don't get too frustrated. Don't get angry. Don't get impatient. Be kind and gentle. So, Loree, thank you so much for this wonderful, magnificent time on our show. And I'm so happy that you were able to join us today. And everyone on this show, thank you for joining in. Make sure to give us that 5-star rating, subscribe to our show, and also download that Champion Up app for more amazing content. Until then, I encourage you to be that courageous creator in your life. This is the Purposeful Life Show and the Champion Up podcast with myself, Adrian Starks, and thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, don't forget to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe to the show so you don't miss out on the powerful, life-changing content on future episodes. Also, make sure to go to championup.net for even more life-changing content. Until then, I encourage you to be the courageous creator in your life.